Hey, Fidelity. What's it cost to invest with the Fidelity app?
Start with as little as $1 with no account fees or trade commissions on U.S. stocks and ETFs.
That's music to my ears.
I can only talk.
Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Zero account fees apply to retail brokerage accounts only. Sell order assessment fee not included. A limited number of ETFs are subject to a transaction-based service fee of $100. See full list at fidelity.com/commissions. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Today on CityCast Madison. It's Thursday, so of course we're dishing on Madison's food scene. Something you likely don't pay too much attention to are Madison's strip malls. That said, many of those unassuming shopping plazas house some of Madison's best eats. So we teamed up with Captime's food and culture editor, Lindsay Christians, along with her colleagues, plus you, to make a mega list of Madison's top strip mall restaurants. Here are the results. It's Thursday, March 20th. I'm Bianca Martin, and here's what Madison's talking about. Lindsay, welcome back. As always, we're so happy to chat with you.
Yay, thank you for having me. I love it.
So we're talking about a super fun topic today. I could not be more stoked. We're talking about Madison's best strip mall bars and restaurants. And usually when we're talking about the best of something, we try to come up with some guidelines. But this time it's mostly vibes. That said, what are you thinking about when we're saying strip mall dining?
Oh, yeah, totally. So strip mall is not literal in this case. In the universe of this podcast episode, we are saying casual, probably takeout focused. Maybe it has inside seating, maybe it doesn't. I think a lot of these don't. My parameters are almost always locally owned. I like to give love to the locally owned spots. Places that are quick, easy dinners or grab and go lunches. Food focused primarily. We'll mention a few bars in here, but mostly food focused. And buffets are totally fair game. So anything where you can just call your order in or put it in online and then pop in, grab it, and you've got a quick dinner, a quick lunch.
I know I already started saying this, but I love this topic. So thank you for thinking of it. Brilliant one. Because your favorite nondescript strip mall restaurant is a vibe. For me, if the outside isn't showy, there isn't crazy pomp and circumstance around the aesthetic, and you're continually going back, that's because that place delivers. And I don't mean delivers takeout and sends to your door. I mean the food is great. What would you say, thinking about this topic, what's special about these kinds of spots?
I think that the thing about a strip mall restaurant that makes it specific to you is it is as much sort of about convenience as it is about taste and price. It's got to hit all of those things, right? So places that will be on this list that I put on there myself are places that are near where I live and near where I work, which is going to be different for everybody, right? But also, when I was thinking about the vibe of the strip mall restaurant, there are technically restaurants that are in a strip mall, like Amar Peru is in a strip mall. It's a beautiful restaurant. But to me, it's nice. It's really nice. It's beautiful in there. And it is a little bit nicer, finer dining. And I was thinking of this in terms of casual, fairly inexpensive for all of the baggage that comes along with inexpensive things, right? But I really wanted places that weren't going to be a place that you walk by when you're downtown. It's going to be somewhere that feels a little bit out of the way and that maybe feels personal to you and to what you love. And I know that we both have our own personal favorites, right?
We do. And we're going to start there because we're the dealers of this conversation. What is your absolute favorite, Lindsay?
My favorite has to be Crema Cafe, which when we at the Cap Times did a crowdsourced best strip mall restaurant story in 2013, Crema won handily. It has evolved a bit over the years in that it's not open on Sundays anymore. I used to always go Sunday morning. I would go there before church and read my book, or when I was writing a book, I was writing a book there. And it's very family friendly, but I also just love their gobbler sandwich, which is turkey on whole wheat with cherry relish and goat cheese. And it's just so good. If it's breakfast, I'm usually doing grits and a latte. But I love the vibes in Crema, and it's such a like sunny, friendly place.
Oh, I adore it. Honestly, I'm in the exact same area for my favorite in that exact same strip mall. We do have to shout out Meat People Butcher. Muskie Lounge, I know you guys are listening. A lot of you know about Muskie Lounge and Sporting Club that's got like this huge space and also has Hank's. So there's a lot happening on that strip. In terms of Meat People, the Butcher, they have a lunch every Thursday that's a special that folks like buy that like crazy. It sells out right away. And I have had it the past 3 weeks, so I'm addicted. And I know you know about that as well.
Yeah, what has been your favorite these past few weeks?
They had a braised lamb and they put like their own pickled veggies on the sandwich. And then they have their own like in-house made bread, and everything on it feels like it's made with love and thought and intention, and it tastes really good. They're really, really good. I want to hear from you, but I do want to say like my favorite spot is in this area. Do you have a favorite from the Meat People lunch? Because it is a lovely thing.
I feel like they did a pulled pork with a slaw on there, and I think Pip made focaccia. It was so good. But I like to get them as little treats. It's like a little, like, I made it all the way to Thursday, and I'm doing good. So that's
100% what it is. I made it to Thursday, and now this is going to be this ultimate treat, and it's got good vibes in there. So can't speak highly enough about it. But I have derailed us a little bit in terms of my absolute favorite, absolute divine intervention favorite. My hands down is located on Monona Drive as well. And it's a Chinese restaurant called La Choza del Viejo, which means the old man's hut. I only know about it because of convenience. And I stopped in. I'm like, wait, this is Chinese food. It's La Choza del Viejo. Like, what's the deal here? Turns out they opened up just a couple years ago and replaced 2 decades long Taste of China location. And they're just killing it. Like, I've probably been like 8 times, and I found it like a few months ago. So La Choza del Viejo is my favorite spot in a strip mall. And yeah, I mean, honestly, Monona and that area of Madison is just crushing it with strip mall love and good food.
And I feel like it's slept on a little bit. So great rec.
It is. Stay out. No, just no, they literally come and support these restaurants, and you can enjoy the things that we're enjoying because it's so good. Now that we've talked about us, part of the allure of this convo is that, you know, when you are looking at these places that from the outside might be nondescript, like you might just drive by, we're in hidden gem territory. We're talking best kept secrets and personal connections that you might not know about. So we did put out a request to the readers of our newsletter, Madison Minute, to get takes on strip mall cuisine. And as it turns out, not shockingly, folks had a lot to say. Plus, in addition to our lovely readers, Lindsay, you also asked your team of writers to get in on this case, and they came up with some amazing gems. So I thought it would be fun for us to kind of break down our collective lists by what side of town the restaurants are in. So we're going to go over to the west side. Don't at me. Does that sound good?
Yeah, we know that this is not comprehensive. I just want everyone to understand and accept that we might not say your favorite spot. And you should still feel free to share it with us, but like, not madly, please.
Yes. And we're going to give you, our voicemail, and you can email us at madison@citycast.fm. This is an ongoing conversation, but we're taking a first stab at it, like a steak knife. We're getting over to the west side, or like some chopsticks. A few spots we're going to go over to the west side are Asian cuisines that are well regarded for their noodles specifically. We heard about Sai Bai Tong, Taigu, and Saigon noodles. Have you heard of these spots? Like, why do you think that these are standouts for some of our readers and your writers?
Yeah, so I was really happy that Saigon noodles popped up because that's one that I was definitely going to put on for the banh mi because I love the banh mi there. It's in the same little strip mall as Madison Ballet, actually, on Odana Road. Kayla, our education reporter, who is like a major foodie, she contributed a ton to our staff-sourced list. So
Kayla Wynn, right?
Yes,
who's been on the show as well.
She's amazing. And she was massively helpful. So like a lot of these recs are also hers. But we were both on the same page with Saigon Noodles because I love, as I said, the banh mi. She said she personally likes the vermicelli noodle bowls. They're called boon. She gets the one with lemongrass pork and egg rolls. She said it's so fresh and satisfying. She also likes to get the Vietnamese crepe, which is bánh xào, when it's available on the weekends, and the lotus stem salad to share.
That sounds so good.
Delicious. They have really good pho there. They were just part of our soup roundup that we did.
I hear a lot about Taigu, too.
Yeah, Taigu, apparently the thing to get is the cat's ear noodles. The cat's ear noodles, I think they have it with a spicy eggplant sauce on there. But what they do with the cat ear noodles, they're literally little handmade noodles. And to me, with my Slovak background, they look like halushki.
Which is?
It's like a little just handmade dumpling. And it's like fresh pasta, right? But like whether you call it a pasta or a dumpling,
Yeah, I know what you mean because I've had them. Someone brought me, I don't know if I was sick or what, but they were like, you've got to try these. You've got to try these. And it's just like a little bit thicker. It reminds me of like something a little more handmade, a little more authentic.
One place that I wanted to mention on the West Side is A-Mart, which we're going to have a feature on soon. And Kayla's recommending the Chinese barbecue pork there. She said there's affordable prices, portions are large, several pre-made grab-and-go options available if you don't want to wait. We always love that.
Well, so we got more over on Odana Road, a spot that got some love from our audience, as well as your writers, was Petra Bakery. A Madison Minutes reader told us, Lisa D said, they have, quote, amazing falafel wraps and Middle Eastern food. Lindsay, what have you heard about Petra Bakery?
I've heard about the shawarma bowl, which is apparently absolutely fantastic. And it looks really great for grab and go for sandwiches, but also freshly made pita. And desserts like date fingers, sesame cookies, like there's like 6 kinds of tea biscuits, 3 kinds of baklava. They really have a wide variety of things. Petra came up recently because I was in St. Louis not long ago at a place called Balkan Treat Box. And I was looking for anything similar to like Balkan, Serbian, Lebanese food. And Petra was one of the closest things that we have in this area for that kind of food.
Oh, it's lovely when people can get in touch with their roots. I love to hear that. Taking a trip to a different side of the culinary world, another spot that one of your writers noted was El Panzón over on South Midvale Boulevard. What do we got to know about that spot in the strip mall?
The rec here is Tacos al Pastor, and also a place to go around La Tigre Lounge, which is right there on South Midvale. La Tigre, of course, is the iconic, very old bar in Madison where it's like full of stuffed tigers and things and tiger pictures. And we were there not long ago and I thought, oh, I wonder if the La Tigre thing where you can't curse is still a thing.
Did you test it?
Literally at the bar, these women sitting next to us were, using adult language and the bartender shut them down.
Oh, wow.
It's still a thing.
But didn't kick them out.
No.
But said, yo, do you know where you're at? Can you have some respect?
Excuse me, clean language, please. Clean language. And I was like, that's hilarious.
For the tigers.
So, yeah, you go to La Tigre and then go to El Panzón and get delicious tacos.
That sounds incredible.
Great vibes. And there's like people who do like karaoke there. It sounds like a great spot.
Also, La Tigre just makes me proud to be a Madisonian.
Me too.
It's like proud to be American, proud to be a Madisonian for La Tigre. So thank you to all that you do. I will definitely stop over at El Panzón next time I get over there. One that stands out to me and just like my history in Madison and being like, oh, this place is pretty cool and it's in a strip mall is La Brioche on University Avenue. Like it's got those big booths and French vibe, which is interessantes. And also I should mention La Baguette on Mineral Point Road, which is another French cuisine.
I haven't been back to La Brioche in a minute, but I really like the vibe in there. It feels very comfy. And like, it feels very intentional in the design. There's like lots of plants and it's just it's very lovely. It's great for a brunch. I love places like that have a good focus on like pastry and bread too, especially for brunch things. Francesca Hong used to work there. Fun fact.
Yeah, I know a number of people who used to work there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's close to my heart. So we've got a lot of West Side spots. Are there any others before we move on?
Yes, I really want to mention Paquito, which is technically in Middleton, but it's like next to a gas station, but like part of a gas station. Like it's in the you park in the gas station parking lot and then you go into Paquito, which to me qualifies it as a strip mall restaurant in spirit. It is Peruvian. It's the same people who own Amar Peru, and it's roasted chicken, like Peruvian roasted chicken. It's very good. I went there for the first time, I think, in summer 2023 when we were writing about the opening. And the chicken was really good, but I would go back for the best alfajores, which is like the little sandwich cookies, the best ones in the city. They are so fantastic. If you want the best version of that cookie that you can possibly get, go to Paquito on Parmenter in Middleton.
I want someone to insert the sound of a door like slamming and me running away to go get some right now. That sounds incredible.
This episode is sponsored by Babbel. Are you holding back on foreign travel plans this year because you're afraid of the language gap? I'm not, because I have Babbel. I'm David Plotz, the CEO of CityCast, and I'm learning Spanish on Babbel, getting ready for a trip to Mexico City. Babbel is the language learning app that gets you talking. Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons, handcrafted by over 200 language experts, get you to begin speaking your new language in 3 weeks or at whatever pace you choose. Babbel's tips and tools are inspired by the real-life stuff you actually need when communicating. With a focus on conversation, you'll be ready to talk wherever you go. Babbel has given me great lessons on getting directions, ordering in a restaurant, and making plans. And of all the things I'm doing in Mexico City, I'm probably most excited about the soccer game we're going to. So I was excited to learn how to cheer from Babbel. That'll be me you'll hear yelling, "Fuerza Tigres! Fuerza Tigres!" With over 16 million subscriptions sold, Babbel's 14 award-winning language courses are backed by a 20-day money-back guarantee. Let's get more of you talking in a new language. Babbel is gifting our listeners 60% off subscriptions at babbel.com/citycast. Get up to 60% off at babbel.com/citycast. Spelled BABBEL.com/citycast. Babbel.com/citycast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
I can say to my new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, hey, find a keto-friendly restaurant nearby and text it to Beth and Steve. And it does, without me lifting a finger. So I can get in more squats anywhere I can. 1, 2, 3.
Will that be cash or credit?
Credit. 4.
Galaxy S25 Ultra, the AI companion that does the heavy lifting so you can do you. Get yours at Samsung.com. Compatible with select apps. Requires Google Gemini account. Results may vary based on input. Check responses for accuracy.
Let's hop in our imaginary cars or bikes or the BRT, whatever, and we're going to go head over to the east side in this conversation. We do have to circle back we're back to Monona Drive. How dare we? It's hot and spicy in the Viet Hoa market. She's hot. She's spicy. She's a queen. Let's go there. Lindsay?
So I am totally guilty of just getting the same thing every time I go to Hot and Spicy, which is just I get the banh mi. And I get it while I'm shopping for like rice vinegar and frozen dumplings and gochujang and like the 6 kinds of soy sauce that I require for my life. Kayla recommended the pad see ew and the pad wun sen. She said some of her favorite meals in Madison. The lob's really good. You can get 2 kinds of papaya salad. She said Laotian style is fishier and funkier than Thai style. And warning, if you ask for a 5 on the spiciness scale, the staff will take your request seriously. They are not messing around when they say hot and spicy.
Yeah, I like that she's like, just so you know, they mean it. Like, I can attest, I double tap the pad wun sen. I'd never had pad wun sen until I had hot and spicy. Like, I'm like, oh, I love pad see ew, like things that I was familiar with. So that was like a stepping out. And it actually reminded me of Kayla's earlier recommendation from Saigon Noodles, which is like the pad wun sen is vermicelli glass noodles with like protein, egg, carrot, onion, broccoli, cabbage. And it's just so good. So it's one of my top meals in the city for sure. But I got another dish that was like medium hot, and my partner like eyes started watering, like they were red, like crying, and he's like, I'm not crying. Because it was so spicy for him. And, you know, like you need, first of all, like have a glass of milk next to you if you're going to like go for it, like, because they're not messing around with that heat level. I also want to shout out, they have really good homemade sausages there as well. And they're sausages that are filled with lemongrass, pork, kaffir lime leaves, and like their blend of spices. I've never had sausages like that, and they're dope.
Nice. That sounds fantastic. Right in that same plaza is Mishki, Cocina Peruana. We were just writing about them because they're opening a 3rd location on King Street. It's like a 3rd location in 3 years or something. It's just, she's really expanding quickly. But Ruthie Hauge, our photographer, was writing in about how much she loves this place. She's like, there's something for everybody. Paleo, gluten-free, vegan, dairy-free, vegetarian. Picky kids love the empanadas. She wrote, the sauces for the empanadas are so good, I want to swim in them.
Tell her immediately that I will swim with her. Let's do this.
They have that purple corn juice, the chicha morada, you know, that's so beautiful. I love that. It's delicious.
Yeah, they really do so many of their dishes so well, and it is colorful, and there really is something for everyone. Because sometimes I've been like, I don't want meat right now. I don't. I want something, and I've really enjoyed their more like vegetarian options, and the empanadas are amazing. And we should also mention right over there is Monona Bakery, the Mexican, Honduran, American gorgeousness that has every kind of food you want as well, including pupusas, which is one of my favorite foods from Honduran fare.
Natalie Yar, one of our reporters, her toddler son, Julian, loves the baleada. And he'll just like yell, baleada, baleada, like whenever he sees the sign or like if they're going past it. She described it as this Honduran breakfast taco with the best flour tortilla, her favorite flour tortilla in Madison, stuffed with refried beans, cheese, scrambled eggs, and avocado. So, and it's got this Honduran sour cream on it. And so she loves them, but Julian also is kind of obsessed, which is very cute.
We've also heard good things on the show from former producer Phil Circus about that, loving that dish. And we should mention current producer Jada Siri Ramos is like, oh, also the dessert is the best in town. They have so many desserts, and I do feel like a kid in a candy shop in that place.
That's fantastic. Yeah, there's like a little area right over on Monona Drive there. It's got like a bunch of really great places all kind of close to each other.
It's a cluster. It's a whole bunch of gems. Like I'm being blinded by the light of how pretty and shiny those spots are. And while we're like talking about this genre of food, one place that maybe doesn't get enough love in this town on East Wash, tucked away in the former People's Bakery location, is Tacos El Capi. Lindsay, what did you hear from your team about this spot?
So Ashley Rodriguez is our new food writer, and this was an addition from her. She said, I was so excited when this place opened in 2023. She says the birria tacos are her go-to order, but you can't go wrong with anything. She said, I've been known to order the steak fries when I know I want to eat well and melt into the couch.
I love really living in Madison. Yeah. A lot of us have a good life. We should be grateful.
Yeah. It's very true. She loves tacos El Capi. I've only heard really good things.
Oh, I love birria tacos. All right, let's take this train down to the South Side. One spot that a reader noted on Madison South Side was King of Falafel on South Park Street. That reader was Kelsey, who said this, quote, it's more of a gas station restaurant, sounds familiar, than a strip mall restaurant, but it's an amazing hole in the wall with excellent food. The owner and chef, Adele Ben-Mefte, has a great story and dedication to quality and authenticity in his food. He cares a lot about connecting with his local customers, and many come on foot from the Park Street neighborhood. So King of Falafel sounds like a good time. I know one of your writers really enjoys it here too. What'd they say?
Yeah, so Ashley helped photograph this last summer when she was our intern before she came on staff. And she said, I remember not being able to get enough of the rice served along with the lamb kebab. Everything I ate was delicious, she said, but I dream of the rice. So that's a pro tip from Ashley.
I dream of Jeannie and I dream of rice. I also should say, now that you're talking about Ashley, who was a photographer, we've had her on the show to talk about coffee. It's just hitting me now. Yeah, we love her. So if she's listening, love you. Lindsay, back to you. I know one of your favorites is also on the South Side, being Curry in the Box at 3050 Cahill, Maine in Fitchburg. Tell us about this spot.
I love it here. So this was a spot that I got into kind of earlier days when I was working at the Cap Times, because it's like we're just at the outside of their delivery area, which where the Cap Times newsroom is, there's just not a lot of places that deliver to us. So
rude.
This is, I know, right? And I am a one-car family kind of person, so I was usually kind of stuck. Curry in the Box is still probably my favorite spot for Thai-style curries. I got it delivered for years for lunch in the office. I can't get enough of the sweet potato curry or the squash curry with tofu, which is this red curry. They do baby bok choy, zucchini, bamboo shoots. There's mushrooms. I would get like brown rice if I was feeling virtuous. but it's always enough for like a meal and a half. There's always so much more. And it's delicious. And the spice levels are pretty legit. I'm usually like a 2 to 3 there. I'm a little more spice averse than I would like to be, but I could go like a good solid medium there is delicious. And the other place that I kind of lived on that I consider absolutely like a strip mall restaurant is Cargo Coffee on South Park.
Sure.
And I was like, I could live on the green wraps from the Cargo. And for a while, I kind of did. It's like an easy handheld vegetarian lunch. It's like hummus and cheddar cheese and peppers and tomatoes. And there's like Italian vinaigrette in there. And it's all folded into this massive spinach wrap. And it's handheld. It's filling. It's inexpensive. It's got like crunchy pepper. And they'll just like hand one to you through the drive-thru and you can get right on with your day.
That convenience. You can't understate it in our fast world.
Yeah.
All right, let's zip up to the north side. Man, this is fun. I honestly kind of wish we were on a bus and like taking photographs like we're on a Hollywood tour of all the strip malls.
Strip mall restaurant tour.
Yeah, we'll plan that for next year. So we're up on the north side now in this convo. Let's talk about the Northport Mall because they got a few mentions in the form of Beer Rock, which is a fun spot, and El Sabor de Puebla's newest location over there. Former Cap Times and Madison Minute's writer Abby Becker, we love Abby Becker, wrote in to say, quote, El Sabor de Puebla's newest location is in a strip mall on Northport, and it's great. And y'all wrote about that not too long ago. What is good at these two spots?
So I went to El Sabor de Puebla before they moved. And I think that the pro tip is really the specials. So like whatever they've got going that week on special. Also, El Sabor de Puebla was making tamales that were sold at Willow Street Co-op for a long time. Their tamales are still excellent. That's a great thing to get there, I think. And Beer Rock. So I'm not a huge beer drinker, but the thing about Beer Rock, the buns that are like stuffed with meat that are delicious, right? They're like an Iowa specialty. They're called Beer Rocks, but yes, they're like very similar to a pasty, right?
I'm like, you mean the pie with the meat in it?
Yeah, no.
There's a Beer Rock. See, this is why we have you on. Now it's called Beer Rock because it's a type of food. Okay.
It is a type
of food. This is hitting me now.
It's okay. Beer Rock is like, it's great because those are the kind of thing I think that soak up beer pretty well and make you want to drink beer. But also, Beer Rock, I feel like every other week they are like in my inbox with like some other event, like it's a puppy bowl or it's like a movie night or Dungeons and Dragons trivia, or like they're constantly doing something fun over there. And I feel like they're a little bit unsung on the north side too.
I think you're right. I definitely think they could be sung more. And in fact, when I went there with a friend of the media in Madison, Scott Gordon of Tone Madison, we went and saw someone playing a set and she just blew my mind. I was like, who is this person who sounds like the lead singer of Fleet Foxes and let's just say Joni Mitchell, just a gorgeous singer. And it was totally just kind of a random little set, but they have a lot of talented people come in there and do like open mic sorts of things. And then I was looking around like, I like this vibe, like the wood. And there's lots of, a lot of Wisconsin fare on the walls and also other fun, like kind of nerdy fare around. So 3 cheers to Beer Rock.
Yeah. I think on the north side, Via Tap has like good fish fry. It's like a nice, like fun dive bar, very classic. Kayla put in a recommendation for Smoky John's. She says hearty barbecue. Sides are just as good as the meats. She loves the baked beans and the ribs and the pulled pork. She says coming here puts me into carnal mode, which I really like.
I want to see Kayla in carnal mode.
Me too.
Let's go. Barbecue. All right. Let's zip over to another spot that's not technically a strip mall, but I feel like the area kind of has a strip mall feel, maybe a state of mind over at Zippy Lube. That's over on the north side. And we've talked about this spot in the past podcasts because it's one of executive producer Haley's favorite building remodels in town. Aside from the building, the food itself is great. I mean, those donuts, like I could also swim in a sea of those. And the menu is pretty simple, boiled down to like fried chicken, donuts, and coffee. It's a beautiful trifecta, right?
Yeah. I want to know, what's Haley's favorite thing there?
Breakfast sandwich.
Ooh.
Which is like legit. It comes with your choice of bacon, sausage, or veggie sausage, topped with a fried egg and American cheese, served on a donut. It's Truly a delight, says Haley. And I second that. Like, there's a second there where I like got addicted to it and was just like swinging by. I'm like, I'm going to go to Zippy Lube and I'm going to get this breakfast sandwich and then I'm going to knock out a bunch of stuff. Because it was just like, it's solid. It feels like you don't feel bad after eating it, but it is still a treat, you know, like that sort of like breakfast sandwich love.
That's fantastic.
You know, I'm talking about like Grease, you know? With donuts. It doesn't kill you.
This is not the healthiest spots in Madison. Like, we're not, you know.
This is the heart, healthy soul conversation.
Exactly.
So we've hit so many spots. Lindsay, we appreciate you rounding up these strip mall gems. Before we go, are there any spots that we missed that we absolutely need to shout out?
So I want to throw in a plug for Tapatio's Cocina Mexicana. They're like on the way to Fitchburg. They might be in Fitchburg. Maybe my favorite Mexican place in the city. I love it there. I got a great rec for Rolling Pin Bake Shop, also in Fitchburg. Really good sandwiches and like high quality bacon as like a value add to any of the sandwiches. For Poke Bay on McKee Road. This is a favorite of one of our staffers, Becky, who said, if you really want to be picky with like what exactly you want in your bowl, Poke Bay has got you. I feel like there are a lot of little places like Rajni Indian Cuisine is one that's like relatively new. It's South Indian and you can get dosas there. But also like I love Swad for an Indian buffet and I love Amber on the west side for Indian buffet. We also had great Indian food at Haveli. So recommendations for all of those. I know it's pretty quick that I'm going here. I do want to just mention these are the kind of restaurants that will open and close and move fairly frequently. So I do a food newsletter every Thursday that's just about food in Madison. You can sign up. It's called The Corner Table. It's captimes.com/newsletters. We are constantly putting in like moving, opening, adding, growing, closing. That's where you can find all of this kind of news if you want to just keep up on what's going on.
You better be subscribed to that newsletter if you want to be keeping up. And that's why we have you on, Lindsay, because you and your team are keeping the pulse on movements in our food scene. And a lot of you who are Madison Minutes readers, we have a lot more recommendations that we didn't even get to. We're going to put something in our newsletter with that. So if you didn't hear yours, like we did talk about Lola's, which of course is in a strip mall, and we love Lola's High-Low Lounge and things like Viet Kitchen on Whitney and Luigi's in the Sequoia Library Conclave and Greenbush on the east side. There's so many. So thank you, Lindsay, for rounding up the top picks and appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much. This was really fun.
That's Lindsay Christians, food and culture editor at the Cap Times, with input from her colleagues and input from you, CityCast Madison listeners and readers of our Madison Minutes newsletter. If you wrote in to participate, thank you. And while we're at it, did we miss your favorite strip mall restaurant? If you didn't get a chance to weigh in, let us know. Leave us a voicemail at 608-318-3367 or send us an email at madison@citycast.fm. And hey, if you want to read Lindsay's story on 22 of the Madison area's best strip mall restaurants, head to our show notes for a link. That's all for today, here on CityCast Madison. I'm Bianca Martin, your host. If you enjoyed the show, why not share this episode with a foodie sleuth? We'll be back tomorrow morning with more stories from around the city. Until then, eat well.